Okay, what's good, doers? You know what it is. You know what it is. It's your boy Kingmil, back with another reaction video. And today we're gonna talk a little bit about, a lot about actually, this Untitled app, and this play that they just made. Because in my opinion, they really just, you know, changed the game in a good and a bad way. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about that and how I feel about it. So, Untitled is a mobile web app platform originally known for letting artists upload, organize, share, and collaborate on work in progress music. I looked at it as an app that I get a lot of music from artists, especially if I want to hear some unreleased before, we further conversation or just anything like that. If I want to hear what you're working with, if I'm shooting a video for somebody, they might send me an Untitled link for some songs. Maybe I'll pick the song that I like the most, whatever. Like, I just saw it come out of nowhere too. I used to do Google Drive files or just MP3 straight to the phone. And as of recently, it's been this Untitled thing. Out of nowhere, but I like to use it because it looked pretty well put together and it was easy to use, very accessible once you get past the sign in part. So I always thought that was pretty cool. As soon as I find out that this is an actual thing and I caught myself using it like a lot more than I usually would use anything that I don't know anything about, they roll out this new feature with direct to consumer sales, which is crazy. At the same time, I feel like we can't let this accessibility allow us to lose the plot. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Independent artists are going to love this and hate this. It's going to show you, how easy it is and how accessible it is to make money if you actually have a fan base. Or it's going to show you that you don't have a fan base and people would rather use these apps that they're already used to listen to this music somewhat free because they're just paying a membership that they don't even think about. Another good thing that's going to come from this is the no DSP approvals, no like distribution processing, no like if you're signed to a label, even on a distro deal or whatever it is, you're not gonna have to wait on any like release calendars. You really can just, hey, if you're viral today, you can drop a project right under like your viral moment for like $2 a pop. Like and boom, direct to consumer. You're like, there's no fee. There apparently Untitled's not taking anything on the back end. Some more things that I could say would come from this is, yo, streams are worth less than a penny. So if you could sell your album for like a one-time sale, like we're going back to the iTunes days if this thing picks up, because if you could sell an album for $5, I mean, we've been doing this anyway. Everybody's deluxe is an extra $10 on the artist website. Like we've already slowly rolled out this whole, you know, direct to consumer sale thing, and now this is kind of just a way to mass produce it. There's no cut, like Untitled takes no cut. You're making 100% of your music. Like this is the first track to full ownership. It's crazy. Like it sounds crazy. There are bad points to this, but like, hey, like how could you not try this out? How could you not use this? This will literally I don't even want to get into all of that. Immediate payout. You don't have to wait for anything, I'm pretty sure. Like for now, I guess, but I'm pretty sure you're not gonna have to wait for your money 30 days to or quarterly or whatever it is, or wait till you hit a threshold. Like if you make $20, you gonna make $20, and at least you're gonna get that week or the week after or whatever it is. I haven't used it. I'm pretty sure if you make $1 million off of this, you're not clearing that tomorrow. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I wouldn't know. Yeah, like if you have the fan base, there's really gonna be no need to negotiate with anybody on anything, and everything you drop is completely yours. You can literally garner so much information about yourself with this. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a metric showing you how many streams and plays you're getting off of this. I'm pretty sure like the email listing that you can get off of this is gonna be insane. Like you could show proof of concept. Hey, look, I rolled out a project and did it and put it out myself. I now have 10,000 new emails. I did 5,000 sales on my own for $15. Like if you could get that many sales off for $15, hey, that's crazy. Some people might have to sell it for $2, to get 5,000 sales. Some people might have to sell it for. So you can show so many different metrics of like demand and how much volume that you actually carry in so many different ways now. you know, and you can present this to labels if it ever becomes worth. I'm not gonna say it's not worth signing a deal now that this platform is out, because don't be surprised, the labels are gonna get behind this, like guaranteed. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't think for nothing that label stuff is ever gonna go away. I don't think so at all. If anything, labels are just gonna give artists more money, and then they're just gonna drop the Untitled link, like you know, like, or like what they'll do is they'll give you money, and then you're just gonna cut them in on your Untitled. I mean, yo, the money is always gonna be there. Somebody needs the money now instead of later. It's always gonna be like that. But you can literally bring demand to the labels, to companies, to anybody, to managers, A&Rs, videographers, whatever it is. Like like, yeah, this is gonna set the standard, a new standard for how to present yourself and showcase what you're really hitting for. A lot of times we're in this we're in this new era right now with artists and labels where, you know, artists also thought there's also an easy way for labels to counter the Untitled and people who kind of want to blackball the game or the industry or whatever. You could easily just be like, hey, if you do want a deal, let me see how much you've sold before. Say you've been using this for the past 2, 3 years and you haven't sold an impressive amount of hard copies at all. This would actually be easier for bigger companies to predict what you're hitting for and what you're not hitting for. So it could actually, like, you know, be a little detrimental. Like, if you use this, it better work. It better be hitting, or it's a weird, interesting place to be right now. So I think this is the right platform to release at the moment, to where, like, at least you can make some money right now. Showcase that you're actually monetizing, and boom, you know, now there's no conversation. Hey, yo, this kid just made $50,000 on his own off of a little mixtape, or off of this TikTok or whatever the hell it is. Now people know what it's hitting for. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but this benefits underground artists a lot, because especially if you're niche, you have a small fan base, you know, or you want to test out a certain project, or you want to do a new sound real quick, you don't really have to bother your algorithms on DSPs or anything like that. You really can kind of just, you know, throw this up on your Discord and still make money off of it, and still feed your fans, and still go crazy, and, you know, not even publicly release it, and, you know, see the demand that comes from there, and say, hey, yo, you know what? People are actually feeding into this. I can actually present this to the label myself. And, you know, if you're even signed to a label, I'm not trying to make everything so label based. Everybody isn't signed to the label, and everybody isn't looking to sign to a label. So you can, you know, really just see what that's hitting for. And then, hey, you, like, you know, you can get a good response early from your direct fan base off this new thing that you're trying out, and then go ahead and put that up on DSPs and expect a good response from a bigger audience of people, because DSPs are always going to provide algorithms, playlisting, and, you know, like, there's a lot of stuff that comes from actually using DSPs. So I don't think it'd be smart to completely cut it out and sell yourself short, unless you're somebody like Frank Ocean, or like Drake, Playboy Cardi, you know, NBA YoungBoy, Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift. Those are people who, you know, would probably see infinite money glitches off of a service like this. I'm gonna be honest. Good way to put out hardcore exclusives to your fans. Good way to do, like, just little quick stuff. Feed the fans. This is a good way to do that and monetize in a very good and unexpected way. First part I think is bad. It's too accessible. People can take your music, leak it, promote it, show you that it's real, like a King Bob or something. If this was active in the King Bob times, oh man, this kid would have been a millionaire. I mean, he would have been caught faster. Yeah, I guess, you know, you like it'd be best to own your intellectual property as an artist now, copyright your unreleased and all that extra stuff, so that if somebody were to do that, you can still, you know, take it down and do whatever needs to be done with that. I would advise every artist to do that immediately. Producers as well. Artists can now take your beats and directly sell them. Untitled's gonna have to do something about that. Like, there's gonna need to be some form of a clearing process. I think that would also help this direct to consumer marketing plan. Like, hey, make sure that beats that get uploaded on here before they're sold, like maybe like you can do a clearing process for producers where if their beats are about to get purchased, there's some type of clearance or pub process where things are, whatever it is. If they find a way to clear this up, I'm not sure how this works, but if they can find a way to clean that up license wise, now we're talking about some damage that could be done to the industry. So yeah, the accessibility, it's dangerous. Somebody can go steal a OK beat, a freaking Metro Boomin beat, a Pierre Bourne beat, do a song to it, put it out, and sell it. And what does it matter now? It's dangerous. If somebody can leak people's music and go crazy, they're doing it on Discord already and making thousands of dollars off a song that's gonna come out anyway for damn near free. Let's fix that up. I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, this is really only gonna work if you really have culture behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like your fan base has to be insane, or you're gonna waste just as much time as you were before. I'm gonna be honest. If you can't make money off free streams, what makes you think you're gonna make money off direct sales? You better be selling your music for $1 if you're like it's really that serious. $1 albums. You're gonna change the game for yourself if you can switch things over to But hey, what do I know? You can go from making no money off your music to $200-300 off them little 200-300 views that you might get. Yeah, good way to change the game, but don't expect much. Like people are already wrapped up in memberships. There's a reason why streaming came into play. It used to only be sales. They used to only be iTunes, and everything else was leaked. YouTube, maybe if it came out, or radio, or whatever it is. When things became streamed, where you just had to handle a little service, and even then, that stops people from listening to music a lot. A lot of people don't pay for streaming services still to this day. They're still on SoundCloud or, finding songs on YouTube or whatever, wherever they could download. That's still an active thing. At least using the app is free. That's a good first step. I don't think it's gonna be free for much longer. Another thing I think is gonna hurt this is really you can hurt yourself as an artist and you can lose your fan base to an extent. Like fans, like there are some people like me, I only use Spotify. I used to only use Apple Music, but I only use Spotify. And sometimes I wish, like even if I'm on Untitled listening to an artist unreleased music or whatever, I'm hoping one day they put this up on DSP so I can just listen to it on Spotify. If I only had to listen to you on Untitled, I actually wouldn't be mad at that, but I would be a little annoyed. It just depends. So yeah, and like I don't think I'm ever gonna find anybody else on Untitled by listening to you. So this is where I feel like it hurts artists. Cause you could find somebody else. Like you could be listening to some new artist and then find another new artist right after that. Like Untitled, it's gonna be just that artist that you're listening to, and then that's it. It's over and done. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how that plays out. This is another part that I think people need to be strategic about, because if you're gonna only be using Untitled now to for big releases or whatever, you need to now understand that you're gonna have to drive fans to that every single time. On DSPs, SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever you Spotify, Apple Music, when you drop music, at least there's a notification if you follow the person, or you know what their monthly listeners are, if they're worth listening to. Yeah, that brings back the element of like quality. Like, hey, it doesn't matter how many streams you got. I just like the music. That's that. Like if you don't have access to that, that could also help as well. But sometimes it is good to see, do people like this or not? Sometimes that matters. For media, it matters, but who knows? Maybe this forms a new version of media, makes it a lot less biased. But like I said, there's a lot of high and lows. There's a lot of high and lows. This is a very new thing that's very cultivating. So it's like, what are we gonna do with this? You understand? But yeah, you're gonna have to definitely drive traffic manually by yourself. You're gonna have to convert fans. This is a part of the new game. Like, it's the same thing people are doing on TikTok. You have to maintain a community for stuff like this to work. You got to post those reels every single day and, actively promote that single. And every time you catch a viral one, you got the Untitled link sitting in your bio. And that extra 10, like, you know, sometimes you can go 2, 3, 4, 5,000 likes on a song, fuck around, change your life. Fuck around, go from 60 monthly to 60,000. I've seen it happen. I've literally seen it happen. Now, the best thing that's happened to TikTok is the second you go viral on TikTok, people want that song immediately. So you can damn near put the song out the next week, the next day, and you're gonna actually benefit off of that. So you can, you know, put that Untitled link in front of that wall. I think that'd be pretty dope. You're definitely gonna have to be a lot more active, you know, and directly attached to your fan base. I feel like that's the thing that's been in the way anyway. Garnering all this attention, putting it on Spotify or Apple Music, and getting the bare minimum out of it. Now you can actually gain from this, but you have to do the work. This is kind of going to hurt artists because big companies and people who want to give you a lot of money, they rely on metrics. You know, I don't know what we're going to do with Billboard and charting and anything like that, because a lot of that relies on metrics. And you know, maybe like I don't believe this is powerful enough yet to devalue like Grammys and billboards and number one hits and all that other stuff. I highly doubt that. They're gonna find a way to make Untitled a part of the culture. Like, they're going to find a way, I'm telling you. This will become a metric in the game. I'm curious to see how long they stand strong and don't sell out with this, respectfully. If they have not already, because what do you mean you're not making anything off of it? Ads are going to be a killing on here. Yes, absolutely. But I don't know. I just don't know. I just feel like Untitled should be used as an engagement tool, direct to fans, not a new like, let's not abuse this discovery and like try to cripple all the things that work. I don't think that's gonna work out in an artist's favor. There's an artist out there that I'm talking to right now. You're gonna stop and drop and try to focus only on Untitled. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Yeah. Play it safe for right now, you know? Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. How you feel about Untitled? What do you think? What do you plan on doing with this? Where did I go wrong with my takes and my assumptions? Where did I go right? Educate me. This is a very new thing. I'm still making of it as I'm talking to y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still trying to create what I feel like it's gonna become in my head. But yeah, y'all let me know what you think, how you feel about this. This is me yapping on my Kingmil Live channel. Y'all know what to do, peace.